Hello guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. I am going to show you guys my whole year in honor of it being New Year's, and I'm going to just run through how my year has gone with you guys. I mean, I have achieved so many things this year that I never ever thought I'd be able to do. So I wanted to share it with you guys fully and show you clips and videos of what's happened throughout the year and how crazy of a year it's been for me. At the start of 2024, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do modelling, and I had just started into my modelling career, which was amazing. I couldn't believe it. And I was doing modelling for Pretty Little Thing, which was like really exciting at the time. And at the start of January, I think it was January the 3rd, I had my first full day shoot with Pretty Little Thing. I was really worried though. I remember because I was staying in a hotel overnight on my own for the first time ever, and I was just freaked out. It was a different city, so I was just feeling a bit crazy. And I was also still working in a bar. And which, looking back now, is crazy how much has changed within half a year really. How much has changed for me, and I'm so grateful. I was working in a bar. I loved the people that I was working for. I loved the people that were around me, but I was really starting to wear on me the fact that I was missing out on all my fun and didn't have any of my weekends. So I knew I had to do something else. But in my head, my plan was to just continue modelling and see where I can go with that. And then around February/March time, I got a message on Instagram saying, have you ever considered being on a dating show? And I had like an inkling that it was going to be Love Island, but I wasn't so sure. So I took a call with them, and it was Love Island, and they wanted to have me in for a few meetings and interviews. I had my first in-person meeting with Love Island team on the 4th of April. I remember I was so nervous to do this because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it in the first place, but I just was nervous to meet people anyway. But yeah, I wasn't sure if it was something that I wanted to do. Like, I'm so glad I did it now because obviously I've met the love of my life, and it's been able to grow and change my life, really. So I'm so grateful I did it now. But before, I was really unsure. I just wasn't sure if it would be like something that I should do, or if it was like good for me, or if I was like the right fit. I had recently had a panic attack on a train on the way back from Manchester when I was doing one of the shoots. So, and then I was such a bad panic attack. So I got scared of traveling from then, like on a train. And then since that had happened, I hadn't been on a flight. So I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to fly? There was so much drama around it. I was just thinking maybe I should just not do it. But you know, you have to face your fears and do things that are out of your comfort zone. And then around the start of May, I remember I was like speaking to my friends about it, and I was like, guys, I'm really not sure if I should do it. Like, I'm really worried. And they were all like, Uma, you have to do it. I was having all the meetings, and all of the meetings were going so well, but it was just something that I just really was feeling just unsure about. I knew that it would be such a big thing in my life. So, and like such a pivotal point in my life. So I think it was a bit of an overwhelming feeling to just be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then around the start of May, I had my flights and my travel itinerary booked. So I was like, okay, this is actually happening. But even at that point, I was still unsure whether or not I was going to go through with it, because I don't know, there was just so many things. Like, I was like really, really in my head about it. So I wasn't sure if I was going to go through with it. And they'd sent me my travel itinerary, and I was still thinking, okay, do you know what? I'm going to just go ahead with everything until it gets to the last minute. And if at the last minute I decide like, no, I don't want to do it, then it's never too late to pull out, you know? So I got my travel itinerary, and it started to feel a little bit more real. I had my flight date and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So then I started to sort of prepare to leave. I had a cute sleepover with my girls.
You and me belong together like cold iced tea and warm weather, where we lay out late underneath the pines, and we still have fun when the sun was shining. You and
and it was kind of like a little going away sleepover. And I started to prepare all my outfits. I was so worried, didn't know what to wear, didn't know what to order. I tried to order loads of things. Some of them didn't come. Everything was like going ahead and I was actually excited for it. And then I suffer from psoriasis. And literally like a few days before I was meant to leave, I had a flare up of psoriasis. So I was like, do you know what? I feel too insecure right now to walk in a bikini with like marks all over my body. So I took that as a sign. It's like, maybe this year isn't right for me, maybe next year. So I contacted them and I told them and I said, I don't think that this year is right. Like, I think maybe next year should be the year. But they were like really, really wanted me to come on. Obviously that meant that I couldn't fly out when I was supposed to fly out, but they did everything in their best efforts to help me out to fly out next week, which was really, really nice of them. They were so supportive. They had me go to like a few checkups just to check that everything was okay. I was just chilling at home, trying to keep low key for that week. And then I got a message from one of my friends and she said, oh my God, Uma, are you going on Love Island? And I was thinking, what? How does she know? And it was because they had put me in an advert accidentally.
There! That's what I was telling you about.
They probably would have made this advert when I was meant to be part of the OG cast. But obviously things had changed. But I think this advert may have been put out there already. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way has that just happened. No way am I in an advert for this show and no one knows that I'm going in, because obviously I wasn't going to be an OG cast member anymore. So at that point, I think we all knew that I just had to go as soon as I could, really. So within about a week, my marks had all cleared up and I felt more ready to go. I was prepped and everything. They sent me on one last checkup appointment, and then I literally went straight from the doctors to the flight to the airport. I travelled with my chaperone, Rachel, who is literally a friend for life now. I absolutely love her. She was amazing. Couldn't have asked for a better chaperone, someone to make me feel so comfortable and confident before I went in. Yeah, so I travelled with my chaperone, Rachel. We landed in Mallorca really, really late, just a few days before the show started, actually. And then I was only in cast holding for like two or 3 days, I think it was. So it was really quick. Everything happened really quick. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then it was time for me to go in. And when I tell you guys, the way that I walked into the villa was so out of my comfort zone, because it was so not like me at all.
Adverts.
This is it.
Oh, shit! All eyes are on her. Well.
I'm Uma. I'm a VIP host and a model. I'm 23 and I'm from North London.
Is she?
I'm a flirty person, but I've definitely got a flirtatious side. I've been single for my whole life, but I think it's about time for me to find love.
Come on, Emma! Emma, look at you!
Boys, the girl of your dreams is about to step inside the villa.
Girls don't like her. She's too pretty, too nice.
Emma, you look so good!
Too natural.
What'd you say?
Too naturally beautiful.
Like, I had to go in there and do something that was so crazy that I was thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. At that point, when they told me what I had to do, because it was only about an hour before I walked through the doors, I thought to myself, I might have to cancel now. But the whole experience in itself was amazing, because I have literally met the most amazing boy ever. And I'm so grateful for meeting him in such a crazy way. Like, it's going to be so crazy to look back on in the future and just think that we've met on a TV show. But I've met him and I've met friends for life, and I had a crazy, amazing experience. Yeah, I love you, girl. You're amazing.
Do you want children? Do you want to marry me? Do you want to run marathons in Long Beach by the sea? I've got things to do like nothing at all. I want to do them with you. Do you want to do them with me?
Wiluma. Wiluma. Sounds like a name.
Yeah, well, it is a name. It's our name.
everything I've done in this whole experience has led me to the point I am now, and I feel stronger for you now than I ever have. I care about you so much, and I'm genuinely falling for you. This top one means that you've met the love of your life.
Really? Do you think that though?
I don't know, I'm just reading the palm.
All my ladies, pop your backs with it, with it, drop with it, lean with it, rock with it, snap with it. All my ladies, pop your backs with it, with it, drop with it, lean with it, rock with it, snap with it. All my fellas.
Who is Emma? Emma! Who are you?
Uptown girl, she's been living in her uptown world. I bet she never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mother never told her why. I'm gonna try for her.
Check it out. They say I'm really sexy. The boys they wanna sex me. They always standing next to me. Always dancing next to me.
So it's something that I am entirely grateful for. When Will and I left, obviously we were in like a holding period for a little bit together. So it was really nice to have a bit more time to get to know each other, like without the microphones and without the cameras, just us two. That was really, really nice time, because I feel like it's kind of difficult to properly get to know each other unless you're in a normal situation, you know? And at the end of the day, it's not really a normal situation to be in like a villa full of people that you never met before you got there, and to be filmed and listened to 24/7. It's not. So we got to know each other so much better, and it was just crazy because like at that point, I don't think we could have even imagined how much our life was gonna change when we got back to London. Like we got to the airport, and I don't think we had really processed that people knew who we were, and like people were like taking pictures of us, and it was such a crazy experience because I'd never had any of that before. People were taking pictures of us. This amazing little old lady came up to me crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, please don't cry, like I love you, don't cry. But yeah, it was a crazy experience. And then it was sad because at the airport I had to go back to London, and he obviously had to go back to Newcastle, so it was like really emotional. So he was back in Newcastle, and I think we got back on the Wednesday, and he was meant to come down to London on the Friday, but he ended up coming on the Thursday because I think we just wanted to see each other again. And then we had our first day, which was so nice, and it was such a crazy experience to be out in normal life with each other because we hadn't had that yet. So it was just really lovely, a really, really crazy experience, and something that I think I will never ever forget. And he asked me to be his girlfriend on the Saturday, and I was so shocked. I remember because basically we had gone out to dinner on the Saturday, and I didn't think anything was going on at all. And I remember when we were walking out to go to dinner, I said to him, have you thought about how you're going to ask me to be your girlfriend yet? And he sort of shrugged it off, and he was like, oh, I haven't even thought about it really. And so I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way. Like, he must have thought about it. And then we were out for dinner. I was none the wiser, but he was like organising for everything to be set up in the hotel room for when we got back. So he was like giving people keys behind my back when we were sitting at dinner, and I actually had no idea that any of that was happening. So that was really funny. And then I remember we were sitting there, and I was like, why don't we go out? Like, let's go somewhere fun. And he was like, no. Like, we don't need to go out. It's fine. We'll just go back to the hotel and have a nice time. And then we started walking up to the hotel room, and he was just saying all this nice stuff. Like, he was saying like, oh, you know, I want you to know like how much I'm so glad that I have you in my life, and so glad that I met you. And I was like, okay, babe, like this is crazy. And then I knew it was leading up to something though. And then I walked through the door, and there was just this amazing "Will you be my girlfriend" sign. It was just the last thing that I expected to see, but I was so happy about it. Obviously, I said yes. Then we had after sun the next day, which was quite nerve-wracking, because obviously I know it's like we had been on TV for so long, but it doesn't feel, it's not live TV. And our after it, there's so much pressure because it was live, but I really enjoyed it. Actually, I actually quite enjoyed the aspect of it being live. We also flew back to Mallorca for the final, which was really, really fun. Me and Will didn't get to stay in the same villa, which was a bit sad, but it was still fun because we saw each other throughout the days and went to the live final, and they crowned my angel girl, Mimolini, with the winner, and I was so happy for her. I was so proud of her. And then I feel like from that point on is where my life had really, really changed. That's where I started to do things that I never ever thought I'd be able to do, meet such inspiring people, and just do so many amazing things, work with amazing brands. I just thought I'd never ever be able to do that. So this is where my life really changed. I went to Ibiza with the girls, and that was super fun. And then I came back and Will had sorted the apartment for us that we live in now. So we moved into our first apartment, which was really fun. We were able to do like fun trips to IKEA, and it was just a crazy experience for both of us because we've both never lived anywhere but home before. So it was the first time for us both to be living with like a boyfriend or a girlfriend and living away from parents. And obviously it was even bigger for him because he literally moved from Newcastle to London to be with me, which is just amazing. And then I did I went to so many amazing crazy events. I met Rihanna. Which is just like, never ever thought I would ever be in Rihanna's space ever in my life. Then I went on my first ever brand trip, which was honestly with the best brand ever, L'Oreal. They are amazing. They take care of you so well. I went to Paris Fashion Week for my first ever brand trip. Like, what a slay. I had the best time ever. I was so glad. I was with so many lovely girls. All of the people that I got along with, which was so nice and so like refreshing for your first brand trip, because I was a bit worried. I was in Paris, which is just a slay in itself. The whole trip was perfect. I got to watch the L'Oreal Paris Fashion Week show, which was amazing experience, and we were so close to the front, which was like, oh my god. It made me feel emotional though, because I was like, I really want to walk in that show. I've obviously got a YouTube when I was there, so if you guys haven't seen it already, go have a look at the YouTube from when I was there, because it was super duper fun. We did so many fun things. I went to some film premieres, which was crazy. To be so close to like these Hollywood movie stars was just insane. I also went to a House of CB party, and I met Cindy Kimberly, who is such an icon, and I've always loved her. So I was like, this is crazy. I went to the MTV EMAs with Kara Stars, which was also crazy. We saw Tyler perform. And bear in mind, this is in such a short space of time. Like, we came out and it was July the 10th, and then all this stuff has happened after. I signed with the most amazing agency and management companies, MVE and WME, and I'm so grateful for them because they have literally made all of this possible for me. Will and I went to a Dolce & Gabbana Christmas party, which was insane. I went to go watch Charlie XCX with Charlotte Tilbury. There's been so many things. And I ended the year on a really, really big high when I went to the British Fashion Awards.
Yeah, gorgeous.
A massive part of you supposed to feel your best when you
That's
step
so
on stage.
cute.
People who come to see you something to
Oh.
and that's not just dressing as a light.
She looks amazing.
That's the fashion.
Which was honestly crazy. Saw Edward Enninful give a speech, which was really nice because he showed me so much support when I came out of the villa, and now we're friends and I love him and he's such a lovely person. So it was really like wholesome to watch him give a speech. Yeah, went to the British Fashion Awards, which was honestly crazy. And even more crazy, when I was there, I was getting sent a video from my besties of me on their TV because it was like showing live on BBC. So they sent me a video of me on their TV and it just made me feel so emotional. Like, it just made me realize how far I have come from the start of the year, you know? Like, at the start of the year, I couldn't even have imagined being on TV, let alone being on BBC, you know, for the British Fashion Awards. And I just had such a great time. I saw some amazing people. I met Nara Smith, who is so lovely and so nice and has such like a calming energy. Yeah, I've met so many amazing people this year and my life has completely changed and I could not be more grateful for it. Ended the year on such a high with the British Fashion Awards and ended it on even more of a high because I got the best news I've ever got in my life, which I cannot wait to share with you guys. It is something that means a lot to me and it's something that I'm just really, really excited to bring you guys along on the journey with. And yeah, and I'm really, really excited. I wish I could say it now, but I can't say it. But the highlight of this year was being able to do all of this alongside a man who is amazing, my Blueberry Will, with the support of my friends and family, my best friends who are always there for me, and meeting such amazing long life friends throughout the year as well has been so special for me. And one of the biggest things about it is honestly making my parents as proud as they are of me and just prove to them that I am the sunshine girl that they raised. So yeah, it was really, really a very amazing year for me. A year that I will never ever forget in my entire life. And that's all thanks to all of you guys and my friends and my family and my sexy man. So that is my year wrapped. I know it's been a lot of talking and it's a bit of a crazy YouTube video, but I just thought it'd be a bit special to have so that I can look back on it and so that you guys can see what I've done with my year as well. But I honestly think 2025 is going to be the best year of my life. This has already been great, so it's going to be difficult to beat, but I feel like 2025 is going to be the best year of my life. There's so much in store and I'm so excited to be able to share all of it with you guys. So as always, thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe and Happy New Year!